we go. Hello, everyone. There's probably a very, very small number of you who have picked up that the Cornered Family thing that we're all doing together is actually the second batch of Let's Playing videos that I've done many years ago, right before, in fact, Guild Wars 2 came out. For those of you who have any idea what that is, I set out to do a complete Let's Play of the original Guild Wars. This was before, you could even get default recordings as long as you wanted, very easily on YouTube. I think I started right when they shifted from when you could do, the 10-minute video limit to the 15-minute video limit, which was, about a year or two before they just said, screw it. You can upload what you want as long as, we verify your account and stuff like that. And it may even be for everybody now. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, I made it. Now, this is, again, at 10 minutes a piece or 15 minutes a piece. I think I ended up doing like 15 and 20-minute videos in the end. Ended up doing, I believe it was 125 videos. Somewhere around, between 1,600 and 2,000 minutes. So, about 30 hours, less than I'm sure, but about 30 hours of gameplay in Guild Wars. And then I got wrapped up in other work and got tired of it, and also ran into, if you haven't heard of them, there's a Let's Player, Guild Wars 2 Let's Player, called Wooden Potatoes, who is, in my opinion, is head and shoulders above everybody else who does Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 Let's Plays. I didn't realize when I started, he had actually set out about the same time, I think, to do exactly the same thing I was doing, except that he is a better player of Guild Wars. And of course that's some of it because, he didn't do a lot of the weird crap that I do, like playing Mesmer Monks, or, playing Necromancer Warriors, which is something you're not going to... Guild Wars is somewhat difficult game to solo anyway. Matter of fact, there are parts of the game that you can't... Not many, but there are parts of the game that you can't get through solo. And honestly, once you get a little ways into the game, you have to use the built-in AI party system. You don't necessarily have to party up with other people. That's better, of course, than using AI, but it's there, and you do have to use it. And if you're a thoroughly mediocre player, you definitely have to use it, which is good actually for me because I really enjoy the mercenary player system. I just really, really enjoy it. You can even make your own characters, and once they reach a certain point, you can bring them into other characters' games. The original Guild Wars was pretty unique and a lot of fun. Great music, great graphic design. I think it still holds up fairly well. Yeah, you can see some of the clunkiness of it. They did some really interesting things, though, to help really improve the graphics. I enjoyed the game greatly. I started playing in oh my gosh, I flat out can't remember now. 2009, 2010, 2008? I can't remember now. Because as you get into the whole, it launched, a few years after World of Warcraft came out. They actively updated Guild Wars for like three years, maybe 4 years before they said, okay, we're doing Guild Wars 2. I'm not going to talk too much about Guild Wars 2. It's a good game. I don't like it very much personally. I can say a lot of great things about it. I did play one character in the original launch of Guild Wars 2 up to the final dungeon. If you don't know much about Guild Wars 2, the actual story of Guild Wars 2 basically takes place, half of the story of Guild Wars 2 takes place through the dungeons only. Well, a lot like, in World of Warcraft. If you don't ever play the dungeons and the raids in World of Warcraft, you're not getting the end of most of the stories, and it's the same thing in Guild Wars 2. Unfortunately, the dungeons in Guild Wars 2, I'm assuming they still are. They were when I was actively playing it. The dungeons were, I know, initially almost impossible to solo. It took a little while before one person finally announced that they had soloed a dungeon and then, put video up. I've heard that there have been people who have soloed all the way through all of the dungeons. I don't know if that's true. I find it hard to believe, but again, I put probably 40 hours into the game. I didn't like it much. They retconned so much of the story from Guild Wars. And so I kind of consider Guild Wars 2 as more of an alternate game rather than a sequel. And that's probably about all I'm going to say about Guild Wars 2, which of course everybody knows is a lie. I'll bring it up again in the future. Right before Guild Wars 2 came out, ArenaNet or NCSoft sent out an email saying that you could reserve names for Guild Wars 2 as long as you had the names registered in Guild Wars. And so I had the characters that I had been playing, which there was one that I had just deleted. I recreated it just to hold the name because it's a name that I use in several role-playing games. And then I went back and deleted two of the ones I had created just so I could show some creation. And chances are I'm probably going to transfer all of the good stuff that I have on this character to one of the other characters, or create a new. It's been probably 3 or 4 years since I've played the original Guild Wars actively. Chances are I'm probably going anyway to drop all of the stuff that I have on this character so I can start a new. It depends on how I am with slots. So I can start a new, not Nightfall, factions. A new factions character from the beginning. I'm not going to delete any of my 3 more accomplished characters. This character is the only character that I have installed, loaded right now that I've actually beaten. I've beaten Prophecies with this character. I haven't taken her. Well, I've played around in some of the other expansions with this character, but I haven't really seriously done anything with her. But yeah, if you didn't know, in Guild Wars you're capped at level 20, and you hit 20 pretty darn quick, and then the entire rest of the game is gaining and learning how to use your different skills that you can get. And you don't add a lot through the leveling process. You basically end up kind of like doubling your default stats. The player versus environment play in Guild Wars was originally only included in the game as a tutorial for the PvP areas because Guild Wars was originally intended, and it's still generally played as, a PvP game. They kind of created a really deep and interesting player versus environment game purely by mistake. And in Guild Wars 2, they created this really deep player versus environment game, but as time has gone by, they've focused it seems like they focused more and more of their work in Guild Wars 2 on PvP. That just seems to be what people want out of the game, or most of them anyway. I've been surprised the last couple of times I've logged into Guild Wars just to see what's going on, which reminds me I've probably got another year's anniversary gift in one of these. Like I said, I've been playing for several years. There's been more and more people logged into the original Guild Wars 1. It's still, when I first started playing, there were, I think, like 8 or 10 servers, something like that. Multiple European servers, a couple of international servers, a whole bunch of North American servers. And now there are I think 3 servers total. Might only be 2. But I've been seeing more and more people logged in. But anyway, this is the character I've beaten Prophecies with. I haven't beaten any of the other 2 campaigns. This is a character I have in the end game, currently in Hell's Precipice, which is the final area. I've run the final mission probably about 50 times with this character. I haven't been able to beat it. Normally, a Necromancer Warrior is not a strong character because nothing in the Necromancer's base stats can make a warrior work right. So, I mean, it's a completely goofy build. But I like it, and I'm going to figure out how to beat it at some point. This was purely to play through the Factions campaign. Unfortunately, I'm stuck at the Great Roadblock of the Factions campaign, which is Tanakai Temple. Then this is a character that I absolutely adore, and I keep shoving aside to do other things. As a matter of fact, this is probably my single favorite character. Ranger Monk, really fun character. I spent a lot of work on getting the look right and making the character like what I want. And as you can see, I've never actually finished leveling her to 20, which means she's actually pretty early. I think she's probably around the first Lion's Arch. But anyway, my point starting out is I'm going to create a couple of characters because I want to play through the Nightfall campaign, which I've never done. And I'd like to record playing through the Prophecies campaign with a new character. And I'm going to go with a pretty basic character to play through Prophecies, especially considering I need to recreate a character that I had. Role-playing, not PvP only. Prophecies. These are all the default classes. Base class, because you by default dual class everything. Elementalist, Mesmer, Necro, Monk, Ranger, Warrior. Notice I don't have a Warrior, and I need this as my base class anyway. Next. Female. Okay, hair color, the red, that hair, face, that one, no, that one I believe. Yeah, I think we're on number 3, is the face that I'm looking for. See, this is, can spot pretty easily, this is an older game. Just a lot of pre-selecting stuff. That one, very pale. Next, do not show the helmet. And picking a color for these is almost pointless. Brown. We'll go with brown. See how we're doing with red. Red's a nice color. I don't like the green. Not the gray. I've done gray. Blue, green, purple, yellow. Yellow. We'll go with yellow. Body scale. Huge to tiny, within the range of warriors. Let's go with tiny. I go back and forth on this character. Like I said, I've done this basic character in a lot of different warpegs. Someone better not have taken this name overnight. All green. One of the reasons I wanted to recreate from scratch is to get the video.
The last day dawns on the kingdom of Ascalon. It arrives with no
fantastic story.
fanfare, no tolling of alarms. Those who will remember will speak fondly of the warm morning breeze. People carry on with their daily lives, unaware that in a short while, everything they have ever known will come to an end.
Scribe,
Yes, my lord.
these Char are relentless, but we shall hold the wall at all costs.
Yes, my lord.
Take this message to Sir Titus. Go forth and recruit the strongest, the smartest. Bring to me the bravest in all of Ascalon. Find me the heroes who will lead our kingdom to glory.
As you command, my king.
Oh my gosh, there's people in chat. Unbelievable. Carve a win, no skills. And like I said, it's going to take me a while to get back into how to play this game. Options, general. Not disable mouse walking, chat filter level, damage text size. Show skill tip, do not show text. Distant name tags. Yep, there's auto run. Graphics, highest quality. Wait for vertical zinc. Sound is okay. Controls, interface. Okay, I think we're alright here. See? Always hide cape. Always hide helmet. Okay, you can double click to run, use the arrow keys, and I've got left and right set to strafe right now. You can also turn, but, you know, I can use my mouse for that. There's a town crier right here. Excuse me, you're Carvawin, aren't you? I think Sir Titus was looking for you. He said he had some good news for you. I like good news. Quest added, message from a friend. That's Ascalon Academy over there. Armin Saberlin, pleasant breeze today, but don't let it distract you from the task at hand. What is it you want to discuss? I don't have anything to discuss with you. Oh, this mouse is so slow. Sir Titus, there you are, my friend. I'm glad you are here. I have news that I think you'll appreciate. XP bar down on the bottom. I've been looking for you everywhere, Carvawin. The king has ordered a new offensive against the Char. This is your chance for glory and adventure, but you'll need to know more about your craft before going north of the wall. Tell you what, travel to the southwest gate, which will take you to Lakeside County. I'll have Van the Warrior waiting for you outside. He can show you a trick or two. Thank you. Hold down my key. Like a couple of other... Oh, that's not what I meant. That's targeting. Shift. Alt. Alt. Control. Hold down Control and Alt. That's it. Gift giver pin. My gosh, there's so many people in here, relatively speaking. Another year dawns and you're still here. Let's have a little fanfare before you carry on with your daily life. If you hand me a birthday voucher, I'll give you a choice of gifts, and the good times will never come to an end. Most likely. This is new. Oh my gosh, you can actually go back and get... Oh, did they stop doing... Birthday present vouchers. I don't think this was here last time I was here. Really is a beautiful game, even for the older graphics. And head out into that quite a ways. So there's the academy, the bridge there. So steps way over there going down on both sides, so steps on both sides. Gate out to Lakeside County. Let's see, do we have anything over here? Yes, there's a quest here. And there's a Prince Rurik up there. Neymar, alas, I am behind on my rent, and my landlord Gelson has run out of patience with me. I fear I will be put out of my home. I'll understand if you'd rather not help a Crichton. Our nations were at war a long time, but I'm not your enemy, and I could really use some assistance. My friend Miller Upton lives to the southwest. I know he'll help me if I can get a message to him. If you're going that way, could you tell him of my plight? Of course. Comes the historian, weapon dealers, Ascalon guard, monk, missed the steps. Sin, another one of the main characters of the actual story part of the game. Adelburn, if you'll remember, he was up there with the scribe during the cutscene. This is what he's watching. A very small number of Ascalonians fighting a very large number of Char. Somebody just died, I heard it. You can fast travel between established areas in this game. Sandra Ellick, someone who will be showing up later as well. Skills trainer. And another quest from Baron Egan. A group of bandits has been terrorizing Lakeside recently. They have grown so bold that they ambushed a royal tax collector and stole a chest full of gold. That gold is vital to our war effort against the Char and must be recovered. You look like you could give those bandits a good thrashing. Will you recover the stolen chest and then return it to Devana in Ashford for me? You betcha. It's been so long I don't even remember. Okay, that takes us right back to where we started, at the head of this lower area here. Nothing else to do here. We will head into Lakeside County as we were told.